Hi, Double H. I'm Laura. I'm one of the adaptive ski instructors with the winter program. I miss you guys, and I'm sure everyone at the winter program misses you guys. We think about you all the time, and I thought I would take you on an adventure to see what goes on at Gore when it comes to snowmaking and grooming. Come and join me. It should be fun. We all know Gore snowmakers work incredibly hard around the clock, making sure the mountain is in great skiable shape all season long. But what are they really doing? First, here's a little history. Over the years, snowmaking has become a vital part of Gore's operations. A snowmaking system is so important not only because of how our winters have changed since the 1970s, but also to extend our ski season. In 1934, the technical director of Warner Brothers was Louis Geib. He conjured up a cold and wet blizzard on a sunny back lot in Burbank, California. His invention, the first known snowmaking machine, consisted of 3 rotating blades that shaved ice from a 400-pound block and a high-powered fan that blew the resulting particles into the air. I'm at Gore, and I want to introduce you to Dan Fiden, who is one of the unsung heroes at Gore. He's the one who helps to make our experience the best it could possibly be.
I'm the head of the snowmaking department here at Gore, and I coordinate the guys and equipment and the hours and shifts and watch the weather and make it all come together to put snow on the trail for everybody.
Awesome. I don't know where we would be without you. And I don't think people realize all the work that goes into what you do so that we can have the experience we have. Dan, how long have you been a snowmaker here at Gore?
About 5 years, and I've run the department for about 4 now.
Awesome. So. That's great. What do you do in the summertime?
I'm here as well. I'm here year round. So in the summer, I'm maintaining and repairing equipment that fails during the wintertime.
Oh, wow.
It literally takes us all summer just to get ready for winter again, and we're not usually quite ready by the time it starts, but we make it work anyway.
It's a challenge. Has climate changed? Have you noticed a difference in the amount of natural snow over these past few years?
Absolutely. Even in the last 5 years, it's this year in particular, we were very little natural snow.
Yeah.
And very little what I call cold weather windows to make the snow in. But with increased capacity that we've come up with for the last couple of years, we were able to get it done.
Awesome. Now, snowmaking's been around for quite some time, right?
Yeah, here at Gore, we started in 1976 with like 4 trails. And it's just expanded from there. We're 97% of the mountain now has snowmaking.
Wow. Wow.
We put snow on about 450 acres of terrain.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That's an incredible operation. Yeah. How many people do you have working with you?
I have, in the wintertime, I have 3 8-man shifts, and we run 24 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. So you must get phone calls and have work at all hours.
All hours of the night, yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you make snow?
Sure. We have a bunch of air compressors, big air compressors, like 500 horse air compressors. I've got like 13 of them on the hill, and I've got 14 500 horsepower water pumps. I pump water from the Hudson River into a reservoir on the hill. Then we pump it from there up the mountain and combine it with air.
So snow day dances don't do anything, right?
No, they don't. We try them, but they don't do anything.
And they can't do anything with Mother Nature and clouds and nature.
Exactly.
You have to. So the compressors are air, compacted air?
Yes, compressed air, which we combine with the water. The water is basically pumped through a gun first, and then the air behind it, which helps it
so they kind of
smaller droplets.
They kind of crash together,
yes,
the air and the water.
Exactly that, just crash together and then come out of the gun in small droplets that will, like I said, freeze and fall back down to the trail, hopefully.
So since they freeze, it must depend upon what the temperature is outside.
Absolutely, it's got to be At least down to 30 degrees, ideally less than 20. From 0 to 20 is kind of the ideal
And
temperatures for really producing snow.
does the amount of moisture in the air, the humidity, make a difference?
Absolutely. If it's very humid and only around 30 degrees, it's very difficult to make snow. So the colder and drier the air is, the easier it is to make it happen.
The better. And is there different types of snow that you make?
Yeah, there actually are. When we first start the season, when there's absolutely no snow on the ground, we make what's called base snow. It's a wetter, heavier snow that when we spread it out freezes real hard and makes a very good base to put nicer powder snow, production or powder snow on top of it, which is a nice skiable surface. But that base icy layer kind of helps freeze up and maintain the snow throughout the season.
Awesome. What changes the water-air mixture?
Yes, it's basically settings on the guns. It depends on the type of gun. There's several different types of guns, but you can either adjust it at the gun or you adjust it by adjusting hydrants and changing the amount of air-water mixture.
Cool.
To make a different type of snow.
Now,
and the temperature helps too. The colder it is, the better quality of snow you can make.
Very cool. Now I see when I see the guns blowing, there's big mounds that are formed. And sometimes I see those mounds stay there for a day or two. Is there a reason?
There sure is, because usually when we leave those for a day or two, it's because it was probably marginal weather around 30. And we weren't able to make really nice dry snow like I just talked about. So we leave the piles there like that because they can leach out. The water can actually leak out of the pile through gravity and run down the hill, leaving behind some drier snow, which the groomers didn't spread out. And it's easier, if they spread it out when it's real wet, it just refreezes into ice,
and then
basically, and then it's hard to ski on.
So you mentioned the water comes from the Hudson to a reservoir.
Right.
And then, so there must be an incredible network of pipes to go from the reservoir to,
yes.
What did you say, 438 acres?
Yes. Yeah, there's about 80 miles of pipe strewn
Wow.
around the hill between air and water pipes to make it all happen, yeah.
And those are the pipes that we see along the edge of the trail. Do they ever go underneath the ground, or they're all
Some of them do, where they cross trails, or through the base area here where anything goes through where there's high traffic.
Right.
We do have sections of it buried, but most of it's above ground because most of the mountain is rock ledge. So it's hard or impossible to bury it.
And then I know, like at my home, sometimes if we are gone in the winter, we have to drain the water from the pipes because it might freeze.
Absolutely.
What about here? What happens with those?
We do exactly the same thing. So each trail is charged separately and controlled by valves, much like your valves on your sink at the house. And when we're done making snow on a trail, we shut the water off with the valve, and then we open a drain valve at the downhill side and blow our air back through the pipe to blow all the water out.
Wow.
So then it's drained and it doesn't freeze up.
So this must all take a lot of energy too, a lot of power.
Absolutely.
And where does Gore get its energy and power for all of this?
Well, most of it is gained through a solar farm that we've got down in Whitehall, New York, and we're almost 100. We're in the 90% green energy that we use to do all our stuff here at Gore with.
Fantastic. Did Gore win some awards for that, or?
Yeah, we sure did. I can't remember exactly the name of it, but we did win an environmental award of some kind for that solar farm and the fact that we're so energy efficient here, yeah.
That's fantastic. What is in a snow gun, and what are the different types that you have?
Well, they range from really simple to pretty complex. So the simplest ones are really just a chamber in a barrel with water pumping into one side and air pumping right in behind it. And like you said, they literally just crash into each other and come out a single nozzle. And then they get as complicated as I've got some fan guns. They're the great big
big ones
you see on the hill with a big fan in the back of them. They've got multiple nozzles. They have their own air compressors, so they don't even use our hill air, we call it.
Oh.
In the pipes. They make their own air, and they distribute the snow out of the gun through a great big fan, pushes it so it gets thrown further, and it goes through many smaller nozzles to atomize the water. And then I've got tower guns that again range from simple ones to more complicated multi-nozzle tower guns, and some of those are even fully automated and run by a computer, and my pump house operator can just push buttons on his computer and turn trails on and off. I can actually turn those on and off with my phone, believe it or not.
Wow.
If I want. I kind of monitor them from my phone during the nights when I'm home and stuff like that. I look at what the night shift is up to through my telephone. Snowmaking in a nutshell is a pretty simple concept. It's just water and air freezing up, really. But there's a lot of complex pieces that make it all happen, and a lot of hard work from my guys. My crews put in some pretty crazy hours working through the night, and super cold temperatures some nights, and they're getting wet from water hoses, and
oh my gosh.
And they're the real unsung heroes of the mountain, in my opinion, are the guys that are actually out there making the snow every night, because it's a real physical job, and they do a great job. And they pull through for me, all of us every year.
Is it physical, pulling hose and fixing guns? And
Absolutely. They're pulling 50-foot, 2-inch water hoses around the hill all night, and ground guns that weigh 80 to 100 pounds. They're pulling them up and hooking them up to their snowmobiles, towing them around the mountain, setting them up by hand. It's walking through deep snow most of the time when they're doing all that. And the night shift guys are doing it in the dark with nothing more than a headlamp on their head. And like I said, they come through and make a great skiing experience for everybody that comes.
Absolutely.
Nice to let the world know what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah. The magic of snowmaking.
Yeah.
Do you have any women on snowmaking?
We don't this year, but we have in the past.
Nice. How much snow is produced?
It's kind of hard to put into quantities how much each gun produces, but one statistic I can throw at you: we put about 300 million gallons of water on the hill every year.
Wow.
To cover the terrain. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, I can't thank you enough for the work you and your team do. I appreciate it greatly, and I know the skiers that get to come here do as well.
It's nice to be appreciated, because we do work hard to make it happen. So
you could probably make multiple abominable snowmen.
Yes, many.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Dan. I'm sure everyone at the ranches has learned an awful lot today, thanks to you.
No problem. Anytime.